Okay, so we're live. So let's go ahead and have our brief scrum. Matt, do you want to go first?
Sure. I've been working on the users index page, and I'm slowly making progress. There's some translations which I'm working on. I didn't look at all the well, I don't know all the translations. I didn't try and figure it out, all of it. But, so.
Yeah, there's a lot there. There's a page in the wiki that Ashley wrote about how to do translations, which is a good overview. If you're not familiar with.
No, I mean, like I don't know the language. Like how to go from English to.
So just leave it in English then, and I'll fix it.
Yeah, or
there were some that were redundant, like yes and no, but I didn't. There are some I left blank.
Well, what I do is I usually use Google Translate, and then Susanna fixes them when the PR is posted up. Or you could leave it as English on both sides, and she'll fix it either way.
Okay.
Yeah, so Google Translate will give you a start, but it generally gets things wrong anyway. It has to be fixed regardless. Okay, sounds good. Robert?
Yeah, I've been working on the password bug that we found last time, and trying out the admin and the landing page, or the landing page and the membership applications page. And while doing that, I did some refactoring and got lost in the refactoring, and then so now I just want to clean it up a bit, and then it's ready.
Okay, great. Sounds good. Susanna?
I don't think I have anything to report.
Okay. And for myself, I haven't had a chance to do much on SHF since we last talked. I did update the meeting notes for the next client meeting, which is going to occur next week. So as things occur to me that we want to go over again with the client or go over with the client. And I have been looking at the Icebox in anticipation of the Icebox review. Didn't make a lot of progress. There's a lot there. But I do have some things that I think we ought to talk about as a team. And I think that's it. So I do have I have for parking lot, I do have the Icebox review that we all want to do anyway, but I've got some stories that I've marked with a label called needed ? Which I want to really go over and say, do we still need these? And I'm only halfway through the stories. I think there's a lot of stuff that we don't need. And also I want to talk about a retrospective maybe for Thursday. So that's my Icebox items. And Ashley, hi.
Hi.
You're the last for Scrum.
Okay, well, quick, not a lot. I went through the Icebox items, mostly thinking about those, and yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's it.
All right, sounds good. So, just real quickly, do we want to go ahead and try to do a retrospective on Thursday? And without a lot of advanced preparation, it's basically just what are we doing good, what are we doing not so good, and what things do we want to do to improve process, tools, whatever it might be. Not really all that formal, but just kind of take our temperature. Is Thursday okay?
I vote yes.
Wouldn't? Okay. Everybody else okay with that?
Susanna? You're muted. Matthew?
I think so.
That works for me.
Okay. It won't take us long because we also have to get ready for the client meeting. But we, as Ashley points out a number of times, we haven't had any retrospectives at all, so should go ahead and try that. So Ashley, I also looked at the stories. I mostly what I did was I marked a dozen stories, let's say, with a needed question mark label. And I'm only halfway through the stories because I think there's a lot of old stuff that we posted way back in the day that we've accommodated or we don't need it anymore for various reasons. So that's kind of what approach I'm taking right now. First, take a first pass and figure out what we can throw out. And then I'll do a finer analysis of them later once I've done that. But do you want me to go ahead and look at those with you guys, or does anybody else have any ideas? Want to go through the
No, that
icebox?
sounds good. It's difficult for us, I think, because it was before our time.
Yes, absolutely.
Um,
Yeah.
I guess my comment about it is, in general, looking through them, there's no sense of priorities. In other words, what should come?
Yes.
Well, no sense of priorities. And then it also doesn't match the discussions we've been having with the clients. In other words, the discussions about payments and some of the other things, that's not reflected in the stories in the icebox, and it should be. There should be some reflection of those discussions. And so one, a couple thoughts. I guess my thought is to use the labels, which we haven't done consistently, to help us reflect priorities. And so my suggestion, and I don't think we should go through everyone and set them right now, but my suggestion is that we should have 3 priority labels. And if we start them with a number, then if you sort things by label, these things will come to the top. So just 0 priority, 1 priority, and 2 priority. In other words, first, second, and third priority items. And those will always, in Icebox, then help us see what we should be working on next, what's important for the client in the project. So just in general, agreeing on what labels we should use, whether it's for priority or other stuff, to help us do this, because I think that's the most powerful way we can do it in the tracker. And then thoughts on how we represent priority. What do you all think?
I could share what I sat in one of the pivotal trackers. They give like meetings, demos for people that are new to pivotal tracker, and like pivotal tracker is flexible, so you can do whatever works for your team. But basically, what they were doing is they had releases, and they would just drag and drop the items in order by priority, and then just like basically if it's the next release and you drag something into that release, then that'd be top priority. And like if there was a second release, you could drag and drop you just order them basically in the queue. So if someone opens the queue, they just see like the top priority things at the top.
Yeah, I'm making a note.
Matt, is a release indicated by a label, or is there some other mechanism that they signify release with?
I think there's a feature. Hold on.
There's an actual field.
There's like you can mark something as a release, and you put it in the queue. Then everything you would just like everything above that release would be in the release, and then it's below the release. It's the next release.
So how do you mark a release with a label?
Yeah,
there's
like
actually a story type. There's actually
story.
a story type called release. I'm just looking at it now.
Good.
Feature bug short release. I didn't pay attention to that. That's a good thing to know.
Yeah, so they would make a story release, and so everything above it would be for that release. And then once they get to the actual item, you would do to whatever you need to do for that release to make it, to release it.
Oh, excellent. So really what we can do is can we use that? We're kind of using Sprint.
We're using labels to. Yeah, we're using sprints. You're right, which is by default also our release.
Yeah. So I just play with that for a second. Thanks, Matthew. I'm really glad you put that up. Sorry.
So I felt the same way you did, Ashley. I started looking and realized it becomes painfully apparent when you start to make sense of it that we have a totally flat prioritization structure, which is no prioritization on any of this stuff. And it's really, and since we have God knows how many things in our icebox, it's really difficult to go through it and even prioritize. So my first thought was, let me just go through and see if we can identify things that we can remove. I know there's probably 2 or 3 dozen things we don't need right now. And just so reduce the clutter and then put some, or in parallel with that, put some hierarchical prioritization and structure around it. So what I propose is I'll continue with reviewing stories and marking them as needed or not so we can review as a team. And actually, if you want to focus on the prioritization scheme, that might make sense. And we can continue the conversation on Thursday, maybe, if we have time. What do you think? Because if we're doing this in real time as a team, if nobody's taken the task to go through and mark things for discussion as a team, it's just takes it forever.
Well, I'm not sure we all need to go through every single one too. I think like Susanna and I could go through and set priorities.
Yep.
Susanna, are you listening? Susanna.
Step through. No, that's Susanna.
Okay.
Muted.
I'm here now.
Okay.
I was here before also, but yeah.
Yeah, well, I saw you had your headphones off, and when
I had a brief absence.
Yeah. So like Susanna and I could go through and set priorities. I don't think that means all of us to go through.
No. Yes.
And do those. So I just put in 2 test release little things in the icebox. I didn't like the other as a test, but I like that. I think using the releases, that would really be helpful too. And that in combination with some simple priority tags, I think would go a long way.
Okay.
Any other thoughts or hints about using Pivotal Tracker? Anybody? No? Okay.
Probably best not to chart out too much ahead of us because we'll probably get it wrong. So starting slow with using PT for this stuff makes sense.
So Susanna, you and I can figure out a time to do that, go through priorities.
Okay. All right. Why don't we go through the current sprint that we're on, and then maybe look at some of the stories that I marked as unneeded, at least the ones I've been able to get through so far. Is that okay? Okay, so we're in sprint 23. Still waiting on text to come in for 318. Is that right, Ashley?
Yeah, hold on, I gotta make this.
Can everybody see my screen? Okay.
Yep.
Okay. I'm still got this in my queue to work on what emails. This is something that we're looking for Susanna to fill out the wiki page in which we identify what state changes according to what membership application state changes result in emails going out. So there's that. Any update on that, Susanna? I'm assuming not.
The other Susanna said we would do it before next meeting, so.
Okay. All right. Email admin when an application received. Same thing, I guess. But we're waiting on, who is this? Francis or somebody?
Yeah.
Um,
I haven't heard.
okay. He's still
from
blocked, isn't he?
Paul. Yeah.
Yeah, he is. Okay, so he's got an excuse. Backups, Ashley's working on that. Add search to users index, Matt's working on that. Is he updated on Scrum? Test coverage to Matt Luker has taken that. I haven't seen anything on that. But anyway, we'll have him retain that in the meeting. In the meantime.
Should we ping Matt Luker on that?
Sure. Is he around?
Well, I don't know, but okay. I'll put a message in Slack.
Yep. So duplicate membership numbers. Robert, where are we with that? You did the analysis. You found 3 dupes.
Yeah, and I'm waiting for Susanna to give me
Yes.
the right membership numbers.
And then you can go ahead and do the implementation of, yeah, okay, great. All right. Robert, you said you're working on this and you're...
Yeah, that's almost finished. I refactored a lot and I want to clean it up a bit. So.
Okay. Next one is Susanna and the other Susanna have agreed to, I think, have this ready by the time we meet next. Landing page for a user who's not a member yet. If locale is not okay, I own this one. I got to update the wiki page on how to set up the app. Let's see. So I got that one. Have many in progress on that. Existing user cannot change password. Then they have. Okay, so Robert has produced a PR, gone through a number of revs. I've reviewed it. I like it. I don't know if anybody else can take a few minutes to look at that, but I think it's good to go.
So the discussion looks good.
Yeah. If you could just take a look at that, Ashley, and see what you think, and then we can get that in there. Can we review some PR, automate some PR reviewing? Okay, I thought we decided to put that off, like it wasn't critical for right now. Is that right, Ashley?
Yeah, but just because we did it as a spike, we did put it in Sprint 23 as a spike.
So can we finish that then? Or did we not?
No,
I think, Robert, you said you wanted to experiment with it, right?
Yeah, I've just started with it.
Okay. Yep. Okay.
So should we just move it to Sprint 24 now?
Well, we're still in Sprint 23, right? To the end of this week.
Okay.
So Robert can get it in just under the wire.
Yeah, probably not, but okay. We'll move a lot of other things to Sprint 24 too, probably. So
I'm sure
let's
we
wait
will.
till then.
Yep. Okay. Margins and company search forms. So Matt pointed out as he's working on the search form for users that the margins between 2 of the search forms, this one has a nice margin you can see between this border and the bounding box for the form itself. And this one does not. So a minor thing, which is good to know.
So we should vote on this.
Actually, that's not a feature. I would call that a bug. I mischaracterized that.
Okay.
Wouldn't you call it a bug? I don't think the users care about that, but we do because we're anal retentive. But anyway, Matt's got good eyes, so that's good to know. View PT stories. Okay, that's something we've started. Add pagination to search results. This is something queued up, and it's blocked by adding search results for the user index view, which Matt's still working on.
And so do we need to vote on that one? I know. So since it's italicized and a feature, it means it's not estimated.
Yeah, so I guess we should. So Matt, do you want to take a shot at describing? So this is not adding search to the user's index view. Matt's working on that right now. He broke it up into 2 stories: search, and then pagination of the search results in the table that shows search results.
Right.
And pagination includes the ability to use the will paginate gem so that we can page by 10 or 20 items, etc. It includes sorting by anything in that table that is used in the search to derive the results for that table. So not all columns can be sorted because they may not be used in the search. And the third thing it includes is the ability to specify the number of items on a pagination page. And the options are, if you guys remember, 10, 25, 50, and all. So it includes those three things, this particular story.
I thought the first two were the other story, the sorting one.
Yes, they actually, I can give a little background. So the
Oh,
other
you're right.
story is handles search and sorting. So the search defines what the results will be, then the sorting defines what order those results will be in, and then after both of those two things happen, the pagination limits the number of results on each page. So basically all of the hard work is done in the first story, and then the second story is just dividing the results into pages. And that's exactly what it does.
Great.
So yeah, but Robert, you're right. I got that wrong. This sorting is included in the first. I would say that a lot of the hard work still is in the remaining story as well, because the pagination is not just a will paginate thing, but it's got to be JavaScript driven, so we don't reload the page every time, as well as the selection of.
I thought that was, we already have a gem for it, and it's done on other pages, so.
It is. So you just got to basically use the will paginate gem and wrap it in a couple of calls that result in AJAX calls rather than straight GET requests. It's documented. We know how to do it.
Mm.
It's not that difficult to do, but just wanted to point that out. So with that, we should vote. Do we want to vote on, is the async voter still alive or back alive?
I don't know. Let's try it.
Give it a shot, huh?
Section. You do /voter.
Here we go. All right, so I'll just count down from 3, 2, 1, go, okay? And then we'll just vote. Everybody okay with that?
Well, if we're using the voter, you just vote.
Oh, that's right. We don't need to, I can, I'm just thinking.
You need more coffee today, Patrick. I
We're
just
thinking it too much. I do.
or less. I'm not sure.
No, it's always more. So it looks like we have 4 votes. So let's see what we got. Simple, simple, medium, simple.
Okay, Patrick.
I can go with simple. I'm okay with that. The reason why, yeah, we know how to do this, and there's documentation how to do it as well. We still have to add to our tests, et cetera, to make sure the pagination, the number of items showing, well, maybe we don't need to test that. Maybe that's part of the generic machinery we've already built. So, okay. So let's just go with simple then, I guess. Okay.
I'm just saying it's simple because I intend on getting all the hard parts, like Ajax and all that, done in the first story, and then leaving just the pagination for the second one. So the only tricky part, I guess, would be is the updating the links so that they're Ajax links instead of, but that's basically my thought behind that.
Good.
Okay.
It's you're the one who's likely to be doing it.
Yeah. And
Right.
as far as testing goes, I don't think it's necessary to test that will paginate works. I think the fact, like the gem itself, we're using it, the maintainer tested it, and we should probably do maybe a 1 or 2 tests, but probably leave most of it to the gem, and then just a couple of tests, make sure do a couple of integration type tests.
Right.
Yeah, it's not the will paginate gem that we would be testing, definitely. Okay, well, we can get into more detail once you embark upon it, and should come together nicely. Let's see, so there's display member number on membership views. What is that one anyway? Okay, so that's pretty straightforward. No need to talk about that. Yeah, that's just a chore there. Current flow, PT diagram, current flow. What's this one? Actually, I forget what this one is.
Oh, in our project documentation, it's out of sync about when we press which buttons in Pivotal Tracker.
Ah, okay.
So I need to update that.
Okay, sounds good. Capistrano, actually still working on that. UI for company has many addresses. I suppose we should vote on that too. So, Ashley, you know this better than anybody else. So, you've scoped out a design for multiple addresses associated with the company. Does our
Can you scroll down? Look at the description.
the
That's
reason
it.
I'm asking is the UI doesn't support that. Does our model structure support this as well already, or does that have to change also?
I believe it does support it, but there's more work that needs to be done. In other words, we can have many addresses, but there's no kind of logic about.
Are we just getting the first address every time we want to show company?
So,
yeah. So that stuff. So there's some logic associated with figuring out how that's going to work too, I suppose.
right.
And there may be a type of address. Each address for a company has to have a type associated with it. Like this is the billing and this is the actual and all that. I don't know. So there's more than just UI for this, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Ashley, do you want to add some more color to this so we can vote on it, or do you think we've got it?
No, this definitely needs to be described more before we can vote on it. So I would say let's just leave it as is.
Mm-hmm.
And
Okay.
So it's likely to be moved to Sprint 24, but yeah, we need to.
Okay. All right. Generate membership numbers. Is this the same as what Robert's got going on? How's this different from that?
Yeah, it's a blocker. The other one is a blocker, I think. It's the blocker for this one.
The other one was find the duplicates, and this one is okay. Once the data is straightened out, we can start.
Yeah,
Okay.
the one I was working on is more involved, I guess. So I'm not sure if it's a duplicate.
Yours, is yours simply find if there
No,
are any
it's
duplicates?
there's more involved in that one. I can't remember.
I thought it was to find and have SHF deal with the duplicates and then impose uniqueness constraint, but not actually to automate the
But
creation.
not actually generating them. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what it's checked for and correct. Yeah, this is just to find and fix duplicates.
Can you open it for the tasks?
That would be helpful, wouldn't it? Let's see, what is it?
Ah, yeah. So it's and the uniqueness constraint, but not the duplicates.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's,
Yeah.
so once Susanna gives you the go-ahead, you can do that, and then you can, if you want, move on to the other one as well, I guess.
Yeah.
No, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Because my hard drives were stolen, I have lost the link, but I asked support to give me the link again, so that I can go into the old system and check for the correct numbers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
Right.
Okay, anything else on Sprint 23? Okay, okay. So the time that we have left, maybe a few minutes we can spend on this. So like I said, I've started to go through the stories and mark things that I'm not sure that we need anymore. So if we could quickly go through this, it would be helpful. So visual indicator to company owner or admin, how much the address a visitor can or cannot see. So we do have something in place now that as if you're the owner, you can see the address of your company, let's say. And if you specify I only want to be seen at the visibility level or the commune level, then there's a notation that says your visibility is at commune level, and it's marked in yellow backing on the font. I wish I could show this. I didn't set this up to demo it. And if all of your fields are visible to a mere visitor, then it says visibility is a street, and street is in green with a green background to show you that you're good to go on everything being seen. So given all of that, I'm not sure that we need anything else for a company owner to see, to notify them that they don't have full visibility to their entire address. Is that, I know, Robert and Matt, that doesn't mean anything to you, what I just said, but I know Ashley and Susanna understand what I said.
I still want to have this.
I haven't seen it, but I can say that people are very sensitive about their information. So that's a very sensitive point for people in general.
Okay, so let's kill that one. Or keep it, I would say. Generate valid addresses for DB seed. So this one, Ashley, you want to describe this? You're the one who opened it.
Patrick, just a moment. If you now just remove the needed, we'll be in the same situation in 2 weeks. So shouldn't you do something else to this one?
Like that?
Yeah, something like it.
It's a good point. I don't want to revisit the same thing.
Good. So this one really interacts with two things. We're generating addresses when we see them, but the problem is when we try to geolocate them, because they were bad addresses, it made all the automatic geolocation stuff slow. And so one, I think when we're in the test situation now, we don't geolocate all the test addresses. That was done. And so I don't think this one is needed anymore.
Yeah, that's my thought too. And this kind of stuff we need anyway. We need all the belts and suspenders for user entering addresses. Okay, so can we delete this? All in agreement?
Yep.
Going once, twice, gone. Okay. DB seed, are we loading users from user.csv for production? Is this a holdover from when we were first starting in production, or is this something we still need? Not even sure what it is, but.
Yeah, so we still have this user.csv file hanging out. That's one part of it. And I think it may even be on the production system. So yeah, somebody just needs to go through and look at this.
Were these initial users when we first went into production that needed to be loaded?
I think so.
Okay. All right.
So I think we still need this. I think somebody needs to, I think they're, let me add 2 tasks to it then.
Okay.
Hold on, let me find your tag. Somebody needs to review it and all right, so yes, still needed. I'll add the tasks.
Okay. We'll just confirm that it's still needed then. Even though after we do it, we may end up not doing it, but still need to be there. I don't know why that's showing up in this function. So we got this display social media links on company page. We did some cleaning up of that by Laura's PR. Oh no, this is different. This is actually on my company's page, the one that I create and populate and edit. So I guess the question is, do we still need that, in that they can use the inline in the embedded editor that we put in place to do anything they want, including put in links to social media? Or was there something else being thought of here? Susanna? Susanna, are you there?
You're muted, Susanna.
No, yes. I guess I just wanted it to be like icons or something pretty-ish, but no, we can trash it.
Okay, because they have complete control over that.
Are embedded links allowed? Because sometimes that's a security concern, and Reels automatically remove, like it would just be plain text. So I don't.
Links are allowed.
They are.
But so Susanna and Patrick, you were talking about the WYSIWYG editor we have so that people can put in HTML and images and stuff on their company page. They could put their own social media links in there. Is that right?
That's what I was talking about, yeah.
And Susanna?
I just wanted it to be prettier, but it doesn't matter anymore.
So I think, Matthew, that's the case in this. So yeah, if they were entering their own text, it would definitely go through a sanitized method. But here we actually, things are pretty wide open.
Actually, not CK Editor. We're using a JavaScript tool that has an embedded editing capability. That's what we're using for this. And CK Editor does its own sanitizing of links. And I don't know the details right now, but I remember looking at that. They do impose some security constraints on what the user can do, so they don't expose the website they're on to full penetration. So admin should be able to sort columns on homepage. I'm wondering if this is negated by the work that you're doing, Robert.
It is.
Okay. So is everybody in agreement that we can do away with this?
Yep.
See this? Okay. That's great. Good. Thank you. Member completes their profile markup editor. So I'm not sure exactly what this is. So we have a company profile, which member can edit and populate. And this is a personal profile? Is that what this is? Or is it just more the profile that we've already defined?
I think that this story is probably from before it was the companies that are the main thing.
I see. My skills, hire me. Yeah, you're right. It sounds like a historical thing. Okay, can we do away with this then?
Yes.
Oh, good. Great. Okay, set a primary image for a company. We have the ability for, as we talked about, somebody can put images on their company page.
Yes,
So,
but what that one doesn't do is share nicely on Facebook.
So let's change the title of this, huh? Set the meta image or set image shown on Facebook. How about that for a company? Set company image that will be shown on Facebook.
okay, so can we get some more explanation? I don't fully understand what's going on here. Can you explain that to me?
For example, in WordPress, when you have a post, you can choose a featured image, and then WordPress sets that image as the most important one for the page, and also that gets found by Facebook by the meta tags usually. And sometimes meta tags are not needed, it's just the largest picture on the page. But when sharing a SHF company page, the picture is not found by Facebook, even if it's large. I don't know why. But to help Facebook find the page, you can do it as a meta tag.
Facebook has lots of custom meta tags for explicitly stating various things. It's the same case.
You could
in general
also have a
Google,
description and a title and things like that.
So for right now, somebody could do that if they went to raw HTML when they edit their company profile and they knew what they were doing.
I think it needs to be in the head of the page.
No, I'm not proposing that we actually leave it at that, because that's not something a mere user would be able to do, right?
It needs to be in the head of the page.
Yeah. So it's not in the body part of it's in the header where the title goes for the page.
Yeah.
And things like the fave icon, where there's defaults, and Facebook and Google try to automatically give a good presentation of things, but it doesn't always work out. And you can explicitly say exactly what you want for descriptions and titles and keywords and so forth and so on. And for Facebook, they have their entire catalog of various things. It's rather extensive.
I see. Okay.
So I just updated the title. Does that reflect what we're trying to do here, Susanna and Matthew?
Yes.
And that's an important thing for users. Is that correct?
No, it's a low priority thing, but
Okay.
I think it should be there.
Okay. So,
Confirmed, right?
yeah.
And get rid of the unvoted tag. We don't need
Yep.
that was before I
All right.
understood.
Okay. Import profile info for current members. Was that a legacy of the first go into production thing?
Probably.
Let's see. Member exists in the previous system. Re-enter information. Can I delete that then?
Yes.
Okay, that's gone. Use can for roles. Now, is this roles here just the shorthand for authorization for which we're using pundit?
User member admin, it says in the text.
No,
Or is
it's
there something other than
different.
authorization going on?
Yeah. Roles are different. There is different overlap. But we could get rid of this. I think that if it becomes a need later, if roles become that rich and complicated, this will come up. So
Okay.
I'm happy to delete it.
Yeah. All right. Do that. Should a user have many? So this is a question that sounds like we're trying to many or just one. Yes. So we're still grappling with this. I think we've been told by you, Susanna, and Ulrika that yeah, you can have more than one application for two different companies maybe.
But it's rare.
But it's rare, and Bella, Susanna, the other Susanna, even said at one point she doesn't think it happens, which was surprising.
No. It hasn't happened as of yet.
It's not, but but we want to be open to the
It's
possibility,
theoretically possible.
and so we want our software to accommodate that possibility, right? At least that's the working assumption.
I don't see it as a high priority. It's like in the bottom of the backlog priority. I don't know if we can remove it until the need arises. No.
But this is just a question about it.
Yeah.
There's another story that talks about changing the UI to accommodate for
Yeah,
more
true.
applications.
Yeah, that's my
But-
point. So I think we've
Sorry.
Sorry, Robert, go ahead.
Oh, so I think you can delete this one.
Well, I would say we don't delete it. We say, yes, we've answered it and close it.
Okay, yeah, that's better.
And so I'll update the content. How about that?
Okay. All right. Must ensure that only authorized users see membership application info.
Yeah.
We're pretty much there, right?
Yeah.
Verify. Oh, there was a legacy thing going on here. So we okay with deleting this?
Yep.
Everybody okay? Okay. Go with that. Let's see. Check refactor destroy link in. Okay, I wasn't sure what this was actually. Can somebody explain this one?
Yeah.
I
Go
don't know.
Well, I think this had to do with, are the files and is everything really being destroyed and is this working? I think it is at this point. We've done.
It's probably really old anyway.
Well, unfortunately, when I update this thing to add a label, it just gives me the last state change time.
If you click that.
Oh, perfect. I was going to say, this is really old, 30th of 2016. Thank you, Suzanne. I didn't know I could do that. That's helpful.
Well, you had a hand icon thing.
So why the hell didn't I just click it, right? So, yes, can have, okay, great. Use routing to, okay, so this I'm not familiar with either, but let me see now that I know how to do it. It's from December of last year. Does this sound familiar to anybody?
Yeah, that that can be deleted. That's old. We had.
Yeah, because we do set a route.
Okay, good. Okay, one more user method to check. So this has all been resolved by, I think, Robert's work, right? You know, all this stuff has all been refactored. We added a visitor model.
Yeah,
Robert did some
it's more
work around.
your work than mine. I didn't do any work on this.
Well, somebody added the, I think, refactored some things to the user model from the, was it membership application model or something? Anyway, there's a bunch of stories I think that more than resolves this. Yeah, okay, good. All right, so that's it. So we have a few survivors. I'll pledge by Thursday to go through the remaining older stories and mark them for discussion as well. But anyway, this is helpful to get rid of some of those things.
Great.
Yeah. All right. Okay, so that's all that. Well, let me check real quickly my to-do list here. Oh, I did have a question. Couple questions actually. So the last client review meeting, did you guys review the HIPS cost structure with the other Susanna?
No.
Did not. Okay, so we'll queue that up for the next meeting. And also, question maybe for Laura, but or probably Susanna, you would know. So we're get Google Analytics for 2 different websites in Slack. Which is which?
It says actually.
I know, but I have to confess I don't know what the labels.
What is the translation of the?
I'm gonna see.
Yeah, great.
Okay, so yeah, medlemssystem, that's our system. Or should be, at least.
So that means membership system, Medlem?
Yes.
Good.
If it's correct. I don't know if it's correctly labeled, but if it is, then yes.
One of them's not getting any traffic, and one of them is. I was hoping we were the one. It sounds like we're the one getting some traffic.
It could be. According to the label, it is.
Yep. Okay. All right. Well, next time Laura's on, we can query.
I haven't dived down into the code to make sure that the numbers match with the labels.
Yeah.
Because,
well, if you do, that would be good to do.
Yes, I know.
Because to be honest, when we first had the stats and it was showing 0 visitors every day, it was kind of disheartening. Hopefully we're getting some traffic there. And as time goes on, through our efforts, we're going to get traffic going up. Let's see. Yep. That's all I had. Anybody else have anything?
So Susanna, looks like you got the builds working again with the semaphore Heroku. So where is that? Or maybe you can post just a 1 or 2 sentence answer in Slack later too. Is in semaphore, where is that ID set, or what ID did you
have to redo it, like the link you posted. I had to do it all over again. Oh no, when I did it all over again, then I found where it was.
Oh, okay.
So it wasn't easy to find, and I have no idea how to find it again.
Yeah.
Of course not.
Yeah, when I poked around, I couldn't. It was hard for me to see too. So I was just hoping you'd. Robert?
Yeah.
I think maybe I remember. I can see.
I've got 2 questions. One question about this one. I used to be able to just log into the system. What is the system's name? To semaphore.
Yeah.
But
now I can't anymore. I think that's because we did a switch to the organization. But
so do you need to be added to the organization?
Yeah, I'm not sure how that works, but I know I can't log in at the moment. And the second one is about the Google Chrome driver. When I run the test, it always pops up. Is there a way to to make it less intrusive?
So on that one, I think we have one or two tests that are using the browser called, or the driver called Selenium_browser.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at the test hook before the scenario, and those ones, there were one or two tests that I found I couldn't make work in Poltergeist nor in Selenium in invisible mode, in headless mode. So I had to make the Google Chrome web browser visible, and it worked.
Yep.
So at least we have three different options for testing. But yeah, so unfortunately, when those tests occur early in running all of the scenarios, all the tests, Google stays alive the whole time while the rest of the tests are running, even though Google's not being used for the rest of them. It's a pain in the neck. I wish there's probably something we could do to kill it. I tried a couple of things, Robert, like after this scenario killed Google Chrome, but I wasn't successful. I didn't spend a lot of time on it, though.
When I run it, that's not what happens. If I run it, it pops up Google Chrome and it says, this is being automated. And then when it's done, it disappears. Like, I don't know.
Oh,
okay. But the problem for me is it popping up, because what I normally do, because it takes a bit of time, I start a test and start working on another screen. And then while I'm in the middle of my work, it pops back to the Google Chrome one, which is really annoying. So if anyone has a solution for it, it'd be great.
You mean it sets focus to the popped up Google Chrome browser?
Yeah.
Oh, that's bizarre.
I work with spaces in the Mac, so it goes to the other space. And
yeah, I've seen, it does jump space. That's a Mac thing. Oh, everybody's on Mac, I guess. It does do that, but I haven't seen it shift focus to. And I see the message, this is being driven by an automated test. Pay no attention, that kind of thing.
So for you, it doesn't.
I don't think it
steal the focus for you. Okay.
I don't think it does. I don't remember that happening.
And what system are you working on?
I'm on a Mac.
On a Mac too. Okay. Yeah.
But you're not using Spaces? Maybe that's the thing?
I am using Spaces, yeah. But maybe it's been a while since I've been on another space while those tests are happening. Yeah, I think it's something we may just have to live with, Robert. I'm not sure there's any get around.
I'm not sure exactly what's happening when you're doing this, and I don't know if it switches spaces, but when I do it, like, I'm just not even sure what you're saying happens, but when I'm running the tests, it just like pops up Chrome in the background, and it runs them, and then it disappears.
Okay.
Like it launches a separate instance of Chrome, so like I'm using Chrome and it launches a new instance and it does some stuff and then disappears.
Perhaps that is okay.
Enough, but, like, control the screen.
Perhaps it is because you're using Chrome.
Yeah, it might be
some sort of second.
I'm using Chrome WebDriver. Selenium is a legacy thing that it's a Chromium Google project, and the newest version is called WebDriver. Selenium's obsolete. It's just called like Chrome driver. So it might be the driver you're using too. Like different drivers might have different behaviors.
And are either of you using RubyMine? Could that be a?
I'm not. I just use Atom IO, and I just open up my terminal and run it from the terminal. And that's what happens.
And you, Ashley, do you have problems with stealing focus, or?
Honestly, I haven't run it. Cool. I'll try it and let you know.
Great. Yeah.
Also, one thing you can try. I played around with Guard this weekend, and I found that instead of running every single test every single time, if you use something like Guard, it's really nice because it will just run the specific tests for things that you change. So like if you change a file, it'll only run the tests that file affects instead of running everything. So that's another option.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing already. Yeah, but I'm very paranoid, so I always.
Yeah, running integration tests gets trickier, but yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, best to be paranoid. For sure. Absolutely.
Okay.
Well, if we can find anything to help with that, we will. But All right then. Anything else? Okay, I guess that's it then. So, thanks
Exactly on
everybody.
time.
That's great. What do you know? We can do it. So we'll see each other Thursday again.
Yep.
Good. Rob,
Bye-bye. Sorry?
I'm looking at Semaphore, and yeah, you need to be added as a team member.
Ah.
And it looks like probably you too, Matt. If you could just send me.
What I found was actually when I do a pull request, I just have to sign up for Semaphore because the pull request is actually my own repo. So I can't see the main project one, but for the pull request, they're actually. But I can send you my link to.
Right. So this is, yeah, the pull request is GitHub, and then the Semaphore stuff will be still separate. So yeah, just you can
Just
direct
saying, so
message
every
me.
single person that does a pull request has to sign up for Semaphore because they have to say yes.
Right. But yeah, then I also need to add you to the team for this project in Semaphore. So I need it. Yeah. If you guys can send me the email address,
I will.
just
Okay.
direct message me and I'll just go ahead and do that here shortly. So, okay, that's all. I just want to catch that all.
Great. And Ashley, next Thursday, we will definitely talk about the weather. Sorry about this.
It's a lovely day here. No smoke here where I am.
Oh, good.
Lots of
Excellent.
smoke on the West Coast, but not where I am.
Breathing clearer then, huh? That's great.
Good.
All right, we'll see you Thursday then.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye now.
Bye.